Well, good morning everyone, it's Paul here from Biking Life. On this, it's not a bad day, it's 12 degrees, although it doesn't feel like 12 degrees. But there is showers forecast today, and all week for that matter. Again, another week of crappy weather set for the UK, well, for the northern part of the UK at least. That Indian variant, I don't know how that got in this country. Well, I'll tell you what I've been listening to on the news this morning. The India should have been put on the red list quite soon, but it wasn't. And it wasn't put on the red list because Boris had a trade deal meeting with the Indian president, or Prime Minister, one of the two anyway. And but Pakistan was put on the red list, and that had like an average weekly case of just over 5,000. Yet India, at the same time, had an average case of over 69,000 bloody people, and yet he didn't put it on the red list because he wanted to go do the trade deal. And this is a result of what's happened. Absolute scandalous. It is a big mistake. He should have bloody done this. Should have had it on the red list straight away and stopped over 20,000 people coming into this country. Absolutely scandalous. You know, when you just think the blooming end's in sight and that idiot goes and does that. It boils me, it does. We've worked so bloody hard to get this far. I'm off to Asda anyway because I need to put some, not Asda shop, Asda petrol station. I need to put some juice in Big Red. He's crying out for a bit of juice, bless him. Oh, it's dropped down to 10 degrees. Well, that's a petrol pour-in. Well, that was a bloody palaver. It's a pay-as-you-go pump there, and put me card in, put the pin in. And went and picked up the bloody diesel pump. Silly man. Put it back down, picked up the green pump, and had to do it all over again. Yeah, getting back to that Indian variant. I mean, the statistics are showing that there's an increased transmissible, it is more transmissible, but it's not contributing at this present time to any more hospital admissions because of the amount of people that have been vaccinated. It's actually keeping those statistics quite low in the case of deaths and admissions to hospital. But it is more transmissible, the actual infection. And again, I've left my pocket open. Terrible. This is terrible. That's it. Well, I did my brakes at the weekend. Put 2 pads in at the back and 4 pads in at the front. Went all smoothly as planned. And it didn't take me long actually, because by the time I'd messed about cleaning up the pistons, you know, the pots and everything like that, and giving it a good service, I went out about, I would say 7:45, and by 11:30 I was done and dusted. So it didn't take me long at all. But that's the thing, if you know what you're doing, it shouldn't take you long. It's when you don't know and you start doubting yourself that you start taking a little bit of extra time. But no, I knew what I was doing, I've done them before. But just as well I changed them. I mean, the front pads had a little bit of meat on them, and I wouldn't say much at all. They were getting there, they were at that point, but the rear, I couldn't have ridden them another day, really, to be fair. But the trouble is, with having linked brakes like I've got, if I press the front brake or depress the actual thing, and it applies a certain amount of pressure to the front, more to the front, but it also still applies pressure to the rear. So I can't get away with not pressing the rear because it automatically does it for me. And this is a big lump of a bike, so you do tend to go through pads quite quickly on this bike. But what I mean, the good thing about this bike is you have a hell of a lot of engine braking, so I'm going to start using more of that, which will obviously mean I'm not going to be travelling as fast, to enable me to brake more with the engine. Well, I tell you what, I didn't put a video up for the weekend, but by God, I missed yous all. I really did. I did miss you. God, I just can't wait for some decent weather. It's just constant blooming wind and rain and chilly temperatures. You know, I'm having one of them days where I'm not looking forward to going to work at all. Yeah, I think the weather's actually starting to get to me now. I'm getting fed up with this weather in this country at the moment. It just seems to be going on and on and on with this relentless. You just don't get a break from it. You can't go out on a weekend. I mean, next weekend, it's our lass's weekend off, and I like to spend that time with her, but it's been that long since I've had a decent ride out over the moors, instead of just commuting every day. I'm dying to get out for a ride. I really am. I'll tell you what, the brakes are good. I only have to rest me blooming hand on them when they're on. They start working, which is good. Which is a lot better than they were before, because you had to really pull them in. You only have to rest your fingers on them and that's it. You can feel it starting to apply itself. I'm not going to make this one into 2 halves today. I'm going to continue with this video. I wouldn't care, I've got lots of footage on my SD card. Well, they're trying to ramp up the progress of getting the vaccination rolled out and shortening the length of time from 12 weeks to around about 9 weeks to really get everyone as protected as possible. I'll tell you what, you don't hear much about the shortages in France and all that in Europe now, do you? You know, of the vaccine, because they were moaning and groaning, weren't they? Threatening to blockade imports to this country and stuff like that. Proper turncoats, those, aren't they? Those people, France and Germany and all that, proper turncoats. You know, just because we've stepped outside of the European Union now, you know. Oh, they'll shit on us as look at us, them. There's no loyalties or friendship. Well, I don't suppose there is with any of the countries, because they'll soon turn on each other when it suits. Well, I mean, today is the official day you're allowed to hug. Selected hugging, like, and they've even got a video on how you should hug. Dear me, what is this world coming to? Giving you a video on how to hug. What's going on? You would never have thought that that would happen. Yes, if you're going to hug, you must hug this way. There's I'll tell you what though, there'll be a hell of a lot of people out there who are too frightened still to hug. And won't, and be very, it'll take some getting back to how we used to be. Oh, it's 7:45 now already, tell you, mate. Just bloody flies by, doesn't it? Trouble is, it flies on the way to work, but it doesn't fly while you're there. Even though you're busy, it still bloody drags its heels. Anyway, enough moaning and groaning, but it's acceptable. It's a Monday morning, you've had a weekend off. You've been doing stuff that you love, like maintaining your bike and stuff like that. You know, then you have to come back to the mundane, working for the man situation, haven't you? Which isn't pleasant at the best of times. I thought I'd sneak to the front there because I'm sick of waiting behind traffic now. Even though I am taking my time to get to work, I'm just fed up of sitting in queues. We seem to queue all our lives, don't we? You know, there's a queue for shopping, queue for everything. You know, you get on the phone to speak to someone, you're in a bloody queue. There's more queues than you care to mention. It's a proper moaning video this morning. I can't believe how bad I sound. I do apologise, my friends. I really do. It shouldn't be happening. I mean, you watch these not to hear some old fart moaning on and groaning. You don't want to hear that, do you? It is funny when you think about it. Mind you, I will say it's not as windy this morning, so that is a bonus, and the temperature's maintaining 10 degrees, so bonus again. No harsh braking this morning, it's lovely. I should ride like this more often, to be fair. I mean, you're not dependent. You shouldn't really ever want to be dependent on your brakes, having good brakes. Yes, you need good brakes, but I'm saying you shouldn't want to use them every bloody single time. You should ride accordingly. Well, for me personally, I'm talking about not ride however you want to. It's entirely up to you. It's not for me to say. Yes, I wanted to go out on Sunday. Now, it didn't rain as such. I mean, there was patches of rain, and I really could have gone out, but I didn't, because it wasn't really warm at all. It was quite chilly, and it was overcast like this, and you're just not in the mood. I certainly wasn't. I just didn't fancy going out, to be fair, and I wish I had done, because it would have probably put me in a better frame of mind, and it'd have been a decent video for you guys. But no such luck today, I'm afraid. I do apologise massively. Come on, guys, I'm trying my best not to filter, but you're making it hard for me. Oh, I don't know how long I can maintain this calmness. It's driving me up the bloody wall. It's sort of defeating the object of being on a bike, isn't it? You know, I mean, for me, being on this bike is to enable you to never to be stuck. To be able to filter through all this madness. And yes, I'm sat here not doing it when I should be in and out, but then again, that's not good. Shouldn't really do it, and I don't actually. I'm innocent. Oh, and I've just seen the first few spots of rain. Oh, so good stuff. Big Red's not used to growl. He hasn't growled once this morning. I'm sorry, son. I will make you growl on the way home. We'll have a bit of fun. Yeah, he's not used to not growling. Well, I'll tell you what, as soon as you put that, touch that front brake, it's there. It's like a 50% improvement. Well, this is the slowest I've come to work for a long, long time. I do apologise if you find it boring. But anyway, you know, guys, I'll do my bit. It is a Monday morning, so please forgive me for being a grumpy old sod. I just think I'm a bit more angry today because of the government. I feel let down. I feel like that everyone has done their blooming bit, and for that idiot to not put that country on the red list when he knew that the infection rate over there was more than anywhere in the world. And it was all because he wanted to do a Brexit trade deal with them. I just find it absolutely incomprehensible. I don't know why we've worked so hard. Why would you do that to us? You're asking us to do something and yet you're not backing us up. And we're all doing our blooming damn bit. Anyway, I'm not going to moan anymore because it's not worth it. Because it's not going to get me anywhere. What's happened has happened, irrespective. So, on that very, very cheery note, I've been Paul from Biking Life. I know I've been the grumpy old bugger from Biking Life. Bye for now, folks. Bye.